Did you know that there are foods in your American pantry right now that are not just rare finds, but downright banned in other parts of the world? Yes, you heard that right. Your seemingly innocent snacks and beverages might be considered contraband in certain countries. But is it true that American foods are banned beyond US borders? US chicken and pork. It might surprise you, but some countries have actually banned or imposed strict restrictions on American chicken and pork. You see, these bans aren't about a food feud or a culinary rivalry. They're about safety and quality. One of the key reasons behind these bans is a practice called chlorine washing in the US. Chlorine washing is commonly used to disinfect chicken and pork carcasses, aiming to reduce the risk of foodborne illnesses. But many countries, especially in the European Union, have banned this practice, deeming it controversial. Why, you ask? Well, some argue that instead of addressing the root cause of contamination, chlorine washing can be seen as a quick fix that allows for less stringent hygiene standards in processing plants. Countries like the UK, for example, believe that if you have clean and hygienic facilities, you shouldn't need chlorine baths for your poultry. Additionally, the use of growth-promoting drugs and hormones in the US meat production also raises concern in some nations. These substances, such as ractopamine in pork, are allowed in the US but are prohibited in places like China and the European Union due to potential health risks. In the United States, the focus is often on productivity and efficiency in meat production. This leads to the use of practices and additives that might not align with the priorities of other countries. Countries like Canada, the EU member states, and China have their own set of standards when it comes to food safety, animal welfare, and environmental concerns. Fruit Loops. Ever wonder why Fruit Loops are so vibrant? That's because they're loaded with artificial food colorings. If you take a peek at the ingredient list on a box of Fruit Loops, you'll spot color additives like yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40. These are the culprits behind those bright and eye-catching hues. These artificial food colorings have been a subject of concern for years. Some studies have suggested that they could be linked to various health issues, particularly in children. Reports indicate potential links between these additives and conditions like hyperactivity, allergic reactions, and attention deficit disorders. In response to these concerns, some countries have taken action. Believe it or not, Fruit Loops and similar cereals have faced restrictions or complete bans in certain countries. For example, Norway and Austria have banned food products containing certain synthetic colorings, which means you won't find Fruit Loops on their shelves. Even in places where they're not outright banned, like the United Kingdom, you'll often see warning labels cautioning against the consumption of products with these additives. In the United States, while there has been ongoing debate about the safety of artificial food coloring, the regulatory stance is generally more permissive. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has reviewed these additives and concluded that they are safe for consumption, based on available scientific evidence. Prime. Prime is an energy drink that you might have heard about, especially if you follow the antics of YouTuber and internet sensation Logan Paul. It's become pretty popular in the US, thanks in part to Logan's influence and marketing efforts. Prime is marketed as an energy drink designed to give you a boost when you need it most, whether you're hitting the gym, burning the midnight oil, or just trying to stay awake during a boring meeting. Like most energy drinks, it contains a mix of caffeine, vitamins, and other ingredients to amp up your energy levels. Now, when it comes to Prime being banned in other countries, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Different countries have varying regulations and restrictions on energy drinks, and it often depends on the specific ingredients and their quantities. For instance, some European nations like Denmark and Norway have imposed strict regulations on energy drinks, which have led to certain brands being banned or limited. Lay's chips. While Lay's are undoubtedly delicious, there are some ingredients in these chips that have raised eyebrows. When you grab a bag of Lay's, you'll notice a list of ingredients, and one that often stands out is artificial flavorings like monosodium glutamate, MSG. MSG, though widely considered safe by US regulations, has sparked debates due to claims of causing headaches and other adverse reactions in some individuals. Additionally, Lay's chips typically contain additives like artificial colorants, which have been associated with potential health concerns. In the United States, the FDA oversees food safety and sets standards for what can be used in food products. However, when we look abroad, we find some countries taking a more cautious approach. For instance, some European nations have stricter regulations when it comes to additives and artificial flavorings in snacks like Lay's chips. They may limit or ban certain additives, considering potential health effects. So, where are Lay's chips banned or restricted? Well, it's not a universal ban, but certain countries do have their reservations. For example, India has taken steps to restrict the use of MSG in snack foods, including Lay's chips, due to concerns about its impact on health. In some cases, local regulations require a clear labeling of the presence of MSG. In other countries, the restriction may relate to specific artificial colorings or flavorings used in Lay's chips. Again, it's about aligning with their own food safety standards and responding to public concerns. Kind of like Skittles. Skittles. Those little drops of sugary joy that burst with vibrant colors when you pop them in your mouth. But here's the catch. Those colors are often brought to you by artificial food colorings like Yellow 5, Yellow 6, and Red 40. While they make Skittles visually appealing, there's a flip side. Some studies have linked these additives to health concerns, particularly in kids. That's why certain European countries like the United Kingdom have decided to put the brakes on Skittles. In these places, you might see warning labels cautioning against these colorful candies. Now in the good old US of A, Skittles still hold their ground on store shelves, but the debate about safety of artificial colorings in candies rages on. Gatorade. Gatorade. The go-to thirst quencher for athletes and folks looking to recharge their electrolytes. But here's the twist. Some versions of Gatorade contain yellow and red food dyes that add that extra pop of color. While they might look cool, these dyes have stirred up quite the fuss in European nations. Places like Norway and Austria say, hold on a sec, we need to put these warning labels on this stuff. They're concerned about the potential health effects of these additives. In the good old US, Gatorade is still widely consumed, and the debate on whether these dyes are necessary evil or something to avoid rages on. So next time you grab a Gatorade, you might want to check the label and think about what's quenching your thirst. Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, that neon green elixir of alertness and sugar rush. But here's the kicker. It often contains a little something called brominated vegetable oil, BVO. What's the deal with BVO? Well, it's a controversial ingredient, partly because it's also used as a flame retardant. In countries like Japan and various European Union nations, they've decided, nope, we're not sipping on flame retardant today. They've banned or restricted Mountain Dew due to concerns about BVO's potential health effects. Now back in the US, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has had its say on the matter. They've allowed BVO in limited quantities, arguing that it's safe for consumption. So the next time you reach for a Mountain Dew, you might want to ponder whether you're up for a sip of the neon brew or not. For more videos, subscribe to our channel and click the bell button. Comment down below what your thoughts are on these food items.